it's my honor to introduce the new member and see actually my brother.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, moon's bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the rampart we watched, where so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rang there, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, Saint Essex, our spangled banner can wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
That was great. Okay, if you would, everybody stand. We're going to say the Pledge of Allegiance.
Praise then. Colors.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much.
Carry. Colors. Order. Colors.
I always carry the state flag. The older guys carry the...
Was the candidate for Republican candidate for Secretary of State, and most recently ran in the governor's primary for the Republican Party. He's one of the most conservative, dedicated Republicans I know, and I'd like to welcome Peter. Come on up here, Peter. Peter's got a most interesting story. Thanks, Peter.
Yeah, somehow it's just this. Here we go. Can you hear me? Good afternoon, and thank you very much for having me. I want to share a story with you, what happened a couple of weeks ago, actually a couple of months ago. I was given an award from one of the RDCs, the Republican Conference, and the award was Beyond Borders. Now, you have Peter Lamage, who's a refugee from Albania, and you're talking about borders. Not a good idea. However, it was a great award. I appreciate that. The second congressional district is a second house to me, a second home to me. What the second congressional district does, every district in our state should learn from you guys. You know how to organize, you know how to get elected, and you know how to win. The other districts, I don't know if we can do that yet, but we're going to have to do this. Very briefly, I'm Peter Lamage. I came to the United States about 30 years ago. Came from Albania, came here as a refugee. When I came over here, didn't speak a word of English. And trust me, I'm still learning if you ask my kids. Eventually, I was able to go to college. After I graduated from college, I worked for the Giuliani administration for a while. Went to law school, became an attorney. I live in Fairfield with my lovely wife and 3 kids. I sought the nomination for governor 2 years ago. Didn't get it, otherwise I would have been your governor, but didn't get the nomination. Look, what makes me a conservative, and I hear this a lot, it is the fact that I grew up in a country where the human rights, the God-given rights, were not respected, where the government was in command and control of our lives. And that's what turned me into a conservative, because I've seen that movie where the government has command and control over the individuals, and I didn't like the ending of it. When my brothers and I dared to escape communist Albania, government agents showed up And they rounded up my family, including my parents, siblings that we left behind, and took them into a concentration camp. Guess who had the guns at that time? Only the government agents. My family couldn't defend themselves. My father was tortured to death in that camp because he didn't notify the government that his sons dared to search for freedom and opportunity. Are we losing that in the United States? The greatest achievement in the human history. It is the foundation of this country. When you have the Declaration of Independence, when it is clearly written that life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness are God-given rights. They are not government-given rights. A government that grants you rights can modify those rights and can even remove those rights. Therefore, the founding fathers, whose pictures we see and images we see over there, they were geniuses. They knew that unless we place limits on the government and we give the government limited power, enumerated powers, the government can become abusive. We have seen that all over Eastern Europe. We see that in China. We see that in various communist countries. And trust me, it is coming to the United States unless we stop this madness. From the very beginning of the creation of this country, elected officials who got sworn in to protect and defend the Constitution and the founding documents of this country, for whatever reasons, Republicans and Democrats, but mainly Democrats, they tried to find a way of avoiding and evading of upholding the founding documents of this country. That should not be tolerated in the United States of America. What made us great as a nation and exceptional, it is the founding documents, it is the liberty, it is the freedom that is provided through those documents. The biggest threat to the government is prosperity through liberty. And that is the first thing that the liberals and the Democrats and the socialists are trying to take away from you and I. Everything that America stands for is under attack. Whether it's our Judeo-Christian values, constitutional values, our culture, you name it. We are under attack. We must defeat statists. They are going to destroy what we stand for as a republic. Every time that they talk about our form of government, when was the last time you hear a Democrat or a liberal saying that we have a constitutional Republican form of government? They will try to avoid the word constitution unless it benefits them. They will try to avoid the words that are in the Declaration of Independence unless it benefits them. They will never talk about our Judeo-Christian values and traditional values unless somehow advances their causes. Arnold Toynbee years ago warned us, said great civilizations are not murdered, they commit suicide. Think about that. Are we as a nation committing suicide by importing and bringing to the United States failed liberal policies, socialistic policies that have destroyed millions of lives all over the world? And yet, we promote it here in the United States. We promote it here in the United States. We have people running for United States Congress, people who have been elected to United States Congress, who openly talk about socialism. We have Republicans who would support such an ideology. As Republicans, we have a lot of work to do. I'm not running for an office, I'm not seeking a nomination, but I'm here to support any Republican, a true Republican that I can support. To be a true Republican, be not afraid to be a constitutionalist. Be not afraid to be a conservative. Be not afraid to believe in the principles of founding documents of this country. Be not afraid to be an American, for Christ's sake. What is the reason that I support Donald Trump? How many of you support the president? Thank you. Thank you. Look, I voted for him, I campaigned for him, I continue to support him. As an individual, we may have disagreements, but everything that he's doing by putting America first. And we better be able to re-elect him in 2020. I, for one, am going to remain involved and make sure that I do my part to get any one of you elected, including Doc, my friend over here, and other Republicans. Anything I can do, go door knocking, come over here and campaign with you, but please remain involved. Our nation, our republic, needs you and I and every Republican and American out there to defeat the madness that is coming to the United States. I've seen socialism, I've endured socialism, I've suffered under socialism, my family and I. I've seen that movie, as I said before, and I don't like the ending of it. So please remain involved and save this nation for the future of our children and grandchildren and generations to come. Thank you very much. May God bless you and have a great day, and thank you for having me.
Everyone, thank you so much, Peter. Just want to mention that Peter has a new book out. You can go on to Amazon, get it, you can read about his story. It's called My Father's Prayer, A Refugee's Continuing Search for Freedom. It's an amazing story and an amazing patriot. Thank you, Peter. Okay, next up, we will have Hal Shurtleff from the Camp Constitution. Where's Hal? Hal, why don't you introduce Camp Constitution and let everybody know what you're doing.
Thank you very much. I'm very honored to be here. I was here last year. My name is Hal Shurtleff. I am the co-founder and director of Camp Constitution. If you haven't visited our booth, please do so, right here by the entranceway. We also have a 10-question quiz on the Constitution. How many are constitutionalists in this gathering here, right? How many people have pocket copies of the Constitution that they can share with other people? That's what we do all the time. We have information tables at various venues. Next week I'll be at Boston Common in Boston with an information table. We do this maybe 4, 5, 6 times a year. And the people in Boston aren't very good at the Constitution, but we get a lot of tourists from around the country that do much better. So we do challenge you to take our quiz. We run a great family camp. It's a week-long camp, and next year's camp will be in Plainfield, New Hampshire, the Singing Hills Christian Camp. One on the raffle, you can actually, we're raffling off a free tuition, which is worth $300. And visit our website to get more information. This camp is an incredible event. We have some of the top instructors in the country, if not the world. We have a British Lord, Lord Christopher Monckton, that will be here. This will be his 3rd year at our camp. We have Alex Newman, who probably came through here not too long ago on a speaking tour. We'll be there for a week. And one of the top climate scientists in the world, Professor Willie Soon. And these are just 3 of the folks. We do have others. And it's a whole families come, unaccompanied minors and unaccompanied adults, so please check us out. We also have a publishing arm. And how many people know who Noah Webster was? Probably most of us. He was a homeboy, right? How many people knew that he refuted global warming back in 1810? Not many people know that. Well, we put that back in print. I was visiting the homestead here in West Hartford, Connecticut, about 10 years ago. We're homeschoolers, by the way, homeschool, and my son Nathaniel is now 22. He's out here on the camera, one of our camp counselors. So we put it back in print. It's called On the Supposed Change of Temperature in Winter. See, they thought that the winters were getting warmer. And Noah Webster said, no, they're not. And he actually debated Thomas Jefferson on the subject. And Thomas Jefferson conceded defeat. So that's a great little thing to put in print. I do want to, there's an old saying, if you're from the South, how many Southern boys we have here, Southern gals? When you throw a rock at a pack of hogs, the one that squeals is the one that you hit. And I say that because we've been catching a little flack lately from the Marxists and the leftists. Up in Maine, for example, there's a group that will call either businesses where we're renting out, or if you're doing a presentation, or a local library. And just 2 weeks ago, I spoke at a library in the little town of Appleton, Maine, and there was a campaign to get our event canceled. They said we were white supremacists. And so they had hundreds of people call. Well, we did the same thing. We had people from all over Maine and the country call to say just the opposite. And I thought, gee, we must be really getting under their skin. If they have to go to so much trouble, we must be doing something right. That stuff encourages me. And not only that, but we got 3 other engagements, 3 other invitations to speak in Maine as a result of the left wing's attempt to silence us. These folks are serious, and we are also serious. And it was interesting too because we have a number of, we're very blessed to have some people at our camp. Our camp chaplain is a man of color, a black man. We have several instructors. The lady that runs our program for our young campers is black. So I had pictures of them and I said, if we're white supremacists, we're doing a very bad job of it. You see, conservatives and patriots, we don't look at a person's color. We look at their character. That's what we look at. And so we do it. Also, one of the things I do, lots of people have donated books to us over the years. That helps keep me in the field. It helps raise revenue. And I like to distribute books. I leave them in libraries and various venues. And I usually put my name on a little sticker that says Compliments of Camp Constitution. Well, I got a note from the post office. There was some postage due. I thought, gee, what's going on? I went to the post office, and one of these triggered leftists decided to take two of the books that I had mailed, that I had left off. They wrapped them up. They put a dead rat in between the covers of one of the books. And I thought, wow. I said, I must be really getting under their skin. So I did a little video on my Facebook page, and I said, thank you, whoever you are. You've encouraged me to be even more active involved in this. So don't be discouraged when you catch flack. We expect to do that. We have to catch flack if we're going to be successful, but we have everything at stake, our nation. And so I think we only got 5 minutes, so I think I'm going to wrap it up. But we have a YouTube channel, a Facebook page, a publishing arm. We have some great resources on our website that are free. We have the Samuel Blumenfeld Archive. Any homeschoolers here? There should be, every hand should be up, by the way. Really? Why put our children in the enemy's prep schools? And then you wonder why they don't believe what we believe. But we have a great resource for homeschools and anyone else called the Samuel Blumenfeld Archive, where you can teach people how to read the way they're supposed to be read by phonics. We even have courses in cursive, which they don't teach anymore in these government schools. So that's on our website too. With that, we want to thank you and God bless.
Thank you, Hal. Next up, we have Dana Petkaitis from the Oath Keepers. So if you're not aware, the Oath Keepers are an organization that comprises mostly law enforcement and military personnel, former personnel, in defending the Constitution.
Good afternoon, everybody. Wonderful day here. Thank you to the VFW and everybody that made this day possible. Let's give them a round of applause first, will we? Okay, I'm just here to speak about Oath Keepers. Can you hear me okay? Okay. So Oath Keepers is a national organization with state and local chapters all across the United States. We are the state chapter. There's one chapter in the state. We're an organization of people who have at one point in their lives sworn an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the principles laid out in our founding documents. This oath is usually taken by people like in military members, law enforcement, etc. But our membership is open as well to anybody who subscribes to those principles. You don't have to be a cop or a military veteran to belong to Oath Keepers. What do? Our overall goal is to reach, teach, and inspire those who work in all levels of government to remember what the Constitution means and to carry out their duties in accordance with those constitutional principles. Not just make things up willy-nilly like we've seen in recent years. And we expect those that are in positions of power currently, like our military, our police, to refuse to obey any unconstitutional orders. We sometimes do get involved in political issues. However, we're non-partisan in that we don't necessarily support a particular party. But we all know who our domestic enemies are. And we've sworn an oath to the Constitution to defend this Constitution and this Republic against all enemies, foreign and domestic. We do hold monthly events We socialize and enjoy the camaraderie of like-minded citizens. We discuss some constitutional issues. We also, as part of one of our programs, we teach people to be prepared for difficult times that could happen through an SHTF scenario, or simply we have a big storm that comes through and wipes out power for a couple of weeks. We've seen that in the state of Connecticut before. So we hold classes about topics such as security, communications, first aid, general preparedness, how to maintain clean drinking water, how to have some basic power available, generate power. And we've also done things, participated in events where we have provided security to allow people to exercise their First Amendment rights when those rights were threatened by groups such as Antifa and other ruffian types that don't wish to allow people to express themselves freely. Membership, again, is open to all people who believe in the principles laid out in the Constitution. This, again, is civilians as well as sworn members of military and law enforcement. How do you join the Oath Keepers? It's very simple. If you believe in the constitutional principles, then live it. Okay? Be politically active. Challenge your politicians when they're pushing unconstitutional laws. Okay? Support your local law enforcement, but also hold people accountable. Be politically active. Challenge your legislators. Attend events and rallies. Educate and talk to people that you know that are involved in law enforcement and in the military. Challenge them on these issues. Hey, if they suddenly declared all weapons illegal and you were ordered to go house to house and confiscate, ask them, what would you do? Educate them on the Constitution and your rights. Vote accordingly. Even at the local level, this is so very important, because when you vote for somebody locally, if they end up having a career in politics, they're not just going to stay local. They're going to end up going higher and go to the state level, possibly to the federal level. So it begins at home. If someone's a good person, you make sure they get into office. And if you think they might end up being a tyrant, even if they're a member of whatever party you belong to, think of the future. What if that person were to advance further to, say, become a senator or a representative? What would they then vote for if given those opportunities? So, vote locally and choose wisely. If you'd like to start getting involved with Connecticut Oath Keepers, all you have to do is come to our meetings. At our meetings we hold events, etc. There's no charge. We usually hold something every month or every other month. We are on we are on Facebook, and we publish everything on Facebook. It's Connecticut Chapter Oath Keepers. That's about all I have to say. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. Lovely day. God bless America.
Amen.
Thank you, Dana. Our next speaker is an organization that's near and dear to my heart, the Connecticut Citizens Defense League. When Dana talks about your rights being taken away, Second Amendment rights are frontline in that battle. And frontline in Connecticut for us, working for us, is the Connecticut Citizens Defense League. They file amicus briefs. They are up in Hartford in the General Assembly fighting every year to maintain our rights. And here to speak for them is Ray Beavis, their legislative representative.
My name is Ray Beavis. I'm the legislative coordinator with Connecticut Citizens Defense League. And as you heard, Connecticut Citizens Defense League, CCDL, is a nonpartisan organization that's grassroots, really dedicated and devoted to advocating the rights affirmed by the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of Connecticut. We're especially dedicated to the rights to keep and bear arms, and through public enlightenment and legislative action. So Article 1st of the Section 15 of the Connecticut Constitution says every citizen has the right to bear arms in defense of himself and the state. So as you heard, that one of the things that CCL does is we track legislative bills up at the Capitol, and through the years, since the start of CCL back in 2009, we've tracked hundreds of anti-gun bills up at the Capitol, and we defeated numerous anti-gun bills. We always hear about the gun bills that did pass. What you don't hear about is the 20 or 30 gun bills that year that got defeated. Last year you had a bill to propose a 50% ammo tax. We had a one gun a month limit bill. These are just bills that keep coming up year after year after year. And it's because of CCDL and because of your elected representatives, especially in this part of the state, that those bills get defeated. We need to stay vigilant. We need to contact legislators and make sure they know that there's constituents in their district that are pro-gun and believe in freedom, believe in the Constitution. With that said, we also file, once the bills do get passed, we also try to fight in court if we can. We do file numerous amicus briefs throughout the country. We have one in New York, we have one in California, all these anti-gun bans coming up. We're trying to fight them and defeat them up in the courtroom and the legal battle. But back to your local elections. It's very important to get involved in your local elections. The people here today, and the Republicans and the conservatives, the pro-gun people that are running at your local level, need your support. How do you support them? They need boots on the ground. They need people actually volunteering on their campaigns and helping them. That's what we need to do. We need to get these people elected. It's important. I can't even stress that enough, how important it is to get these people elected. So please, if you see someone walking around in an RTC shirt today, or if you know they're running, go up to them, ask how you could help. Just 2 or 3 hours a week on that campaign could make a world difference. They would love to have a volunteer 2 hours a week. There's a lot you could do, just passing out signs, just walking, door knocking, even making phone calls on election day, volunteering to drive people to the polls. There's numerous things you could do, but it happens at the local level. And why do I say that? And I'm going to tell you why I say that, because we talked about the federal level, we talked about the state level, but every single month there's a town in Connecticut trying to pass a gun ban or a gun regulation in a town. And it happens all the time. We had just Griswold trying to pass a ban to ban all firearms on town property. We have Kent on the other side of the state next week is trying to pass a ban on all firearm stores. They want to ban all firearm stores in their town. They says that a firearm store promotes gun violence, and they don't believe in gun violence. So these are things happening at every town level, and we're trying to defeat it all the time. And it all comes down to who is elected in that town and who is pro-gun, anti-gun, and we need more pro-gun people elected. The pro-gun people are the ones that support the Constitution. They really understand it. They understand tyranny. They understand your rights. They understand your freedoms. So with that said, CCL has membership applications over there. They are free. You do not necessarily need to be a gun owner to be a member of CCL. All you need to do is believe in the Constitution, believe in the Second Amendment rights, believe in your right to freedom. And we will help you and show you and give you the tools you need to contact your legislators. We tell you which bills you need to be aware of up in the next coming legislative session. We hold legislative workshops throughout the state come next year, at the beginning of the year, January, February, March, and we tell you how to write testimony, how to contact your legislators, what to do, the best talking points for the bills. Because unfortunately, there's so many bills you can't contact your legislator on every single bill. So what we do is we prioritize the bills. We tell you, hey, these are the bills that are coming up to vote this week. These are the bills that are in committee. You need to contact your rep. And that's all done through our membership, through our emails. You get an email alert, and it's usually a step-by-step guide, a couple of links that tells you how to write the letter, what to say in the letter, where to send it to. It's kind of self-explanatory. It just takes a couple steps. And that's where everybody needs to come in. We need to stand up and fight for our freedoms, because our freedoms are eroding away every single day. And one other thing I would like to say is we're all amongst like-minded people here today. We preach to the choir, we talk to the choir, we talk to amongst us, we all believe in what we're saying. But I ask you to reach out to people you normally wouldn't reach out to. Make them understand what's at stake with our freedoms. Make them understand what we're really going to lose. It doesn't necessarily have to be about a gun issue. It doesn't have to be about Republican or Democrat. Just make them understand what the Constitution means. And things like that, we have to reach out and spread our wings and get more people on our side and make more people awake to our situation. So with that said, come stop by our booth. We have merchandise, we have membership forms, and I'd like to thank everyone for letting me speak today. Thank you.
Thank you, Ray. A couple of points that Ray brought up is your local legislators and state legislators. Here today, we have, I believe, 3 of them. State Rep Ann Dauphine. Ann, you around? She's talking.
What else?
Who's the other one out there? What's that? Brian? Brian Ledoux?
Gas cap.
Matt
Or if you have a
there.
metal card from.
And
Matt Corey, well, he ran.
hey, Matt, where are you? Matt Corey.
Matt Corey, he's on the phone.
Oh. All right, our last speaker will be Jason Mascara, who is actually running for the Board of Ed in Killingly.
Hey everyone, I would like to actually first invite any Republican candidate that is running for this local election to come up here with me. Because this election is not about me, it's about the Republican Party and this local election.
You're running, right? We can hear you. Loud as you can go, Jace. They can't hear you in the pavilion.
So, a little background. My name is Jason Mascara. I'm 20 years old. I am a proud conservative and a proud Republican, which is shocking. I should be a communist, but I'm not, thank God. I'm running for the Board of Education here in Killingly. In 2017, I graduated Killingly High School. I currently attend Quinebaug Valley Community College, where I am the founder and president of the QVCC Student Republicans. You know how colleges are. They're not very conservative friendly, so we're fighting that battle. I'm running for the Board of Education because I believe that the indoctrination in our schools is absolutely horrendous. We need to stop the indoctrination, and Republicans are the only people who are going to do that. I experienced 4 years of it at Killingly, and Killingly's a pretty conservative area. It's turning more red, and we need to keep that. But even with that said, the indoctrination is sad, and I'm blessed to be a Republican, and I'm blessed to be conservative. I thank my mom for that. She's a pretty cool person. Anyway, this election is extremely important. If we do not vote for Republicans and support the Republican Party and people with conservative principles and values, we will lose this nation. And it starts at a local level, because if we lose our towns, we will lose our states, and we will lose this country. And as a 20-year-old, I don't want to live in a socialist country. I want to live in a free country that God granted us with every single God-given right that we have. And I am willing to stand up against the Democrats and fight against that. And all these Republicans here today are as well. So I just want to thank you all for coming and supporting the Republican Party and supporting the Killingly Republican Town Committee. Every single Republican here is an amazing man or woman, and they're willing to fight for you, because it's about we the people and nothing else. So thank you all. God bless you, and God bless America.
I'll practice for Wednesday.
You want Matt? We good?
Also with us today, just so you know, is Matt Corey and Sue Hatfield somewhere. Both of them ran for state offices in the state of Connecticut, especially Matt ran for senator. Kevin! I'd like to thank them for coming out. I'd like to finalize with saying we appreciate everybody that came out today to help us raise money and to be with conservative people. Thank you very much. Shortly, the band The Lifted will be starting up. Thank you very much.
Of course, the taxes in this state. But, it's people like us that are here, that are carrying the torch of true patriots, that are fighting for our freedoms, and we never want to take that for granted. So thank you for being involved. Thank you for coming out to this event, and thank you for all your kind support from myself also.
Next we have Sue Hatfield, who actually ran last year for Attorney General, and she's now the Vice Chair of the State Central GOP Committee, so she'll say a few words. Here you go, Sue.
Hello, everybody. So it's so great to be here today. Are we ready for November 5th to flip the flops and make Connecticut red town by town again? We are ready to do this, everybody. So I have my flip-flops here today, and I'm here to say we got to flip the flops. We've heard tolls, no cars, no trucks, borders, no borders. We've heard it all. So we got to flip the flops, make Connecticut red, and let's start allowing people to live again the way they should be here in Connecticut. So thank you for having me in.
Anybody else here? I know Leanne from Informed Health Choice wanted to say something. I don't know if we have any other candidates here. Anybody, any candidates here that want to introduce yourselves? Doug, did you talk?
I didn't.
You want to come up and say hello and introduce yourself?
Get up there.
Okay.
Hello, I'm Doug Farrow. I'm running to retain my seat on the Board of Education. A lot of important things going on in the board right now. I know a lot of you are kind of concerned about the whole situation with the Redmen name change. I felt very strongly that, first of all, the name shouldn't have been changed, and my other concern was the process. I don't feel that it was brought to the people of the town. I think the townspeople had some really strong feelings that were ignored, so the Republican candidates that are running have been vetted, and everybody is very pro keeping the Redmen name. We need your support to turn out on November 5th. If we could get all 4 candidates on the Board of Ed on, we will have the majority, and we'll be able to set the agenda and have some control and kind of bring back some fiscal conservativeness. If not, Howie Flexer would likely become the chairman of the board. I don't know how you guys feel about that. I think that's all I had to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Doug. Kevin Kurtula running for the 4th District in Killingly. Here, Kevin.
Hello, everybody. You elected me 2 years ago. I've been doing the best I can. We had the Republican majority on the town council. We flipped it from 1 Republican seat last year, 2 years ago, to now we have 5. We got to keep the momentum going. I also got up, spoke publicly several times about the Redmen name change, and I emailed the Board of Ed several times. I was very opposed to that. I also worked with the town manager and the town attorney to try to find there was a back door for us to get in there to try to prevent it, at least force it to a town vote. The public should have had a chance to vote on that. There was no reason that 6 people on the Board of Ed should have been allowed to decide that.
Get rid of them.
So I'm out knocking doors. If you're in District 4, I hope to run into you. Time's limited. I don't have a whole lot of time to do it, but I'm trying to do what I can. So I got a Facebook page going so I can try to contact people through that and keep things active. And I hope, looking for everybody's support, November 5th. Thank you.
Candidates, Patty, you want to come up and say hi? Patty's running at large in Killingly for the town council.
Hi, my name is Patty Lauro George. As Ann said, I'm running for town council, Killingly Republicans. Vote Republican. The reason I got involved mostly was because of the mascot issue. I think if you don't have a choice, we're all in trouble. So if we can get a Republican majority, more voices in this town can be heard. We need to get rid of the liberal agenda on the Board of Ed. That's why Jason Doug, Karen are so important for this entire group, but we have to keep working together, and if we don't go out and vote, we can't win. Thank you.
Don't let me miss you, Kevin Goodrow. Kevin Goodrow's running for BAA in Killingly. Come on, let's get him voted in, okay? Leanne, you wanted to say a few words from Informed Choice? Come on up. And if anybody else does, please let me know, okay?
Hi everyone, my name is Leanne Duquette. I'm from Woodstock, Connecticut, and I'm the founder of an organization called Informed Choice Connecticut. My goal is to help preserve parental choice, religious freedoms, and individual choice when it comes to what's going on with our children. Last legislative session, we dealt with some pretty ominous bills that were looking to insert the government's choice in front of our parental choice with regard to our children. I'm looking for any candidates or current legislators who would like to do a quick interview to encourage civic participation between your constituents and you to come to my tent and do a live interview with myself. I can introduce you to a platform of almost 1,000 people who are looking to get involved with their legislators. I'm right over here at the booth. Please come introduce yourself to me. I thank all Republican candidates or even Democrats who are supportive of parental rights to choose. We cannot insert the government into this decision-making process between parents and children. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Anybody else? I want to especially myself thank all the vendors that came out today. I know I'm going to miss somebody, but we had CCDL, Aces Defense, the Oath Keepers, Janet Mascara, where are you? Janet Mascara, give her all a big round of applause. She worked very, very hard to make this day a success, so thank you, Janet. Thank you all that came out and supported us. Really, it takes a lot of money and a lot of time to run campaigns. Go to your legislators, go to your town officials, go to the people that are running. Ask them what they can do, making a phone call, driving them, writing a letter to the editor, throwing them a little bit of money. All these things are so, so, so important. We need your help. You know, we know that the liberal agenda is supported by PACs and the union and on and on and on, and it's very, very hard to compete. Please, 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 so, you know, get out and support them. And I think I don't want to be remiss in thanking the band, the Lifted, or where are you? Behind you. Okay, thank you so much. We appreciate all of you. Did I miss anybody? Okay.
We thank the Hang Five, the first band that played. Okay, that's it, I think. All right. So the band will be starting up here shortly. Thank you, everybody. If you didn't know, my name is A Man's Husband.